Welcome back to Framework Fortune. I'm your host, Ben, and we've got our good friend Charles Allen from BTCS Inc., Nasdaq listed company, blazing the trail for all the other companies in the stock market for crypto and Web3. And he's here with some new alpha for us. Charles Allen, how are you, my friend? What's going on?
Ben, great to be back on your channel. Always fun to connect with you.
Absolutely. So, we got the new Stake Seeker app out, huh? You've been talking
Yes.
about this for a while, actually. This is something I've been excited about for you guys to launch.
Yep. So we basically opened it up at the beginning of the year, and have numerous chains supported, so you can connect not only uh, your custodial exchanges to pull in the data via read-only API and analyze it, as well as get data from various nodes where you delegate to for non-custodial nodes, which we operate. So we're really excited about that, especially in light of what's going on in the marketplace with the collapse of FTX, Celsius, BlockFi. Hopefully people are picking up on the fact that it's probably a good idea to hold on to your own keys. And if you
Yeah.
want to do that, and then you look at, well, how do you generate a reward or some earnings on those tokens. We're a great platform to do that. You can delegate to our nodes. It's non-custodial. We don't have your keys. I'm not buying a Ferrari with your money. We have no access to your money or the rewards. And so we think that's a really compelling business model in this environment. So we're super excited to be offering it, especially in light of recent market events.
Yeah, absolutely. And you being a public listed NASDAQ company, that versus like FTX where they weren't public market, that is more of as a private company. I think that's where we're going to see a lot of companies start going, and you're way ahead of the ball, being already listed on the Nasdaq. Done did the dividend payout, the Bitcoin dividend. Which is there any plans in the future for another Bitcoin dividend payout option or?
Well, if you saw the news, we actually announced a Series V preferred stock distribution, which is we're really excited about. There's no guarantees at the moment that we'll be able to complete it. We're still working through a couple processes that need to happen. But basically, if you're a holder on the record date, we've initially set that as March 27th, and assuming we're able to pull this off, you would get one share of Series V. And one share of Series V will allow you to convert to a share of common stock on Upstream, which is an exchange built on Ethereum's blockchain. So as a
Oh,
crypto company that our largest asset is Ethereum, we secure Ethereum's blockchain. The ability to be able to have our shares trade on Ethereum's blockchains is pretty powerful. And so we're really excited about that to the extent we're able to pull it off. And so I think for shareholders, if you're a shareholder as of the record date, you're going to get and we pull it off, you'll get a Series V. You move it to our transfer agent, go through a simple conversion process via the app, and bam, you'll have shares at an additional 1-for-1 share that trades on Ethereum's blockchain. So there are a few other companies that have listed their shares on Upstream's platform. And I think we would be, if we're able to pull this off, we would be the first that would do it by kind of creating a pathway to bring every single shareholder over to the platform.
hey man, I just got to give you kudos. This is something we've been talking about in the Web3 space so much, how important it is onboarding everybody else to Web3. And this sounds like an amazing way to do it, to like, really mass onboard quite a bit of people. You guys have, I think, the reach to do that with this. With it being on Ethereum, is there concern with the gas fees, or you said your app is going to get around that, or what we
Well,
got going
so
for that?
the way we're doing it is like we're not building an exchange, right? Because it's still a security, right? This
Right.
isn't an NFT. This would be one share of common stock that would be identical to what's traded on the Nasdaq. It would just be traded on a foreign exchange. So
Right.
Ethereum, Upstream uses Ethereum's technology as the underlying backbone for settlement. right? So
Yeah.
like right now in the stock market, it's a bit crazy the way it works. I
Yeah.
could spend, I could spend hours talking about
Me too.
the inefficiencies of the stock market. I'm sure people have heard of, T plus two. It used to be T plus three. That's trade plus 3 days to settlement. Now it's 2 days to settlement. The SEC is pushing for T plus one. There are a lot of weird games and weird things that happen in those. Used to be 3 days, now 2 days, even one day. There's going to be a lot of things that happen. So being able to settle trades instantly on a blockchain, I think, is really where the markets need to go, or the stock market needs to go. And it's been a potential use case that we've highlighted in our investor deck going back to, I think, 2014,
Yeah.
of what you could use a blockchain for. And now we're at a point where um, the technology exists to be able to do that. Um, and we're not actually running the exchange, so it would be Upstream uses Merge Market, which is a globally recognized exchange, fully compliant. So by doing it that way, we don't have to get into that business, right? All we're really doing is we're just another issuer, listing, just like we listed on Nasdaq, or we could go list on the London Stock Exchange. We're listing on Upstream, but we're trying to do it in a way to bring our whole shareholder base over, or at least give every single investor um, a pathway or an option to come on over. So that should be, it should be pretty exciting.
That's incredible. So I'm not familiar with Upstream in particular, but I'm familiar with a lot of other synthetic asset exchanges. Is that kind of what Upstream is? Is it like kind of pegs, or is it a little bit different than the synthetic assets?
It's different than a synthetic asset because
Okay.
it's not a decentralized exchange.
Okay.
Um, it is, it uses Ethereum is the backbone for trade and settlement,
Okay.
right? And
I
that
got you.
eliminates a lot of the issues. I mean, if you follow what happened with like GameStop, right,
Yeah.
as an example, and Robinhood, like, oh, let's just remove the buy button, right, because we have a capital constraint. So you can just sell, but you can't buy. That's,
Mm,
like, well, okay, on an Ethereum based exchange, you won't have, like, issues like that won't be an issue. Naked shorting won't be an issue,
hmm
which is, we could spend a lot of time talking on these issues, but it really, using an instantaneous trade and settlement backbone, um, allows for a much more transparent marketplace.
Yeah.
Um, and so that was kind of, one, it's built on Ethereum, which we secure the network, and two, moving to that T0 is kind of where we believe markets should go, and it's a great use case for blockchain technology, and being able to come up with a way to do that. Knock on wood, we can get it done. That gives a pathway for every single shareholder to come over. And I think right now we've got over 35,000 shareholders. Is going to be pretty cool.
Yeah,
So
that's a big onboard, and that's amazing. That's incredible, bringing that many people from, the traditional Web2 finance markets over onto Ethereum, 35,000 people, even if it takes a couple of months or, whatever for everybody to
yep.
get to it. But still, that's incredible onboarding, and that's what we need to see. I'm very happy to hear about this, and I'm looking at your stake hub here on the Stake Seeker. You actually got some pretty good APRs on here. Like Adam is at 22.15 at the moment.
Yep.
And I was going through it, and I see you can actually stake through your Kepler wallet, and BTCS node validator is through the Kepler wallet now.
Correct. So all of our staking is non-custodial, and this is huge for those that are following what's going on in the industry. Like Kraken just got fined
Yeah.
with $30 million, and so our thought process is we don't want to take your money, right? If we don't have your money, with the old expression, not your keys, not your crypto. If we don't have your keys, we can't. It doesn't matter what happens to us. We can go bankrupt, and you're not going to lose your money because we don't have it. So if you look at what happened with BlockFi, Celsius, FTX, etc., the way in which we're doing it is really is the lowest risk you can have, because you're not taking custodial risk, right? You're responsible for your own keys.
Yeah.
And you can, apart from Ethereum, you can delegate to, our nodes, whether that's Cosmos or Avalanche, Kusama, Kava, etc., right? We'll go through the whole list, but, it's on
Right.
our
Yeah,
site.
you've got quite a nice list here, including Solana. Oh, coming soon.
Solana's coming soon, right?
Okay,
We're working
nice.
on that. but the goal is to, expand that universe of blockchains we support. There's a process and procedure we go through to add them, but they all follow one kind of key commonality, in that they're all delegated proof of stake versus proof of stake, which is what Ethereum is. So,
Right.
I know Ben, you've been a big fan of Cosmos.
Oh
Like on
yeah.
Cosmos's chain, we have Akash and Kava, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what you can actually do, which you just announced today, is we enabled auto restake, or auto stake is what we're calling it. So if you go delegate to our node, you can go to our website, Stake Seeker, and you can go through that process. You can compound your rewards twice daily, right? And
Nice.
there's no manual process. You just, once you set it up, it automatically happens, and you're compounding, which is huge, right? So if you believe in, Cosmos, and you're a long-term holder and you want to stake it, right now we're, I think, the only node operator that has a 0% commission at the moment.
I saw that. I
Um,
was going to bring that up.
Auto
You are the
stake,
only one.
yeah. So we got, well, no, there's others that have 0% commission, but if you add 0% commission, auto
Right.
stake, and a data analytics platform where you can, view all your data, we're the only one.
Yeah,
Uh,
100%.
and
Yeah.
even if you eliminate the data analytics, we're one of, a small handful of validator nodes that have, auto stake enabled, which, even if you don't want to use the platform, if you wanted to stake to our node, the fact that you could do twice daily compounding, I mean, with 0% fees, I don't know why you wouldn't switch, right? Looking at the list, there's, the top guys are charging 15-20%. At some point we will add a fee, but I don't know. I doubt it would be 20%. And even so, like, we've got there's going to be a very nice window where you can basically pay zero commission or fees, right? Plus compounding. So hopefully we get some users that user uptake on that.
For sure. And so with the auto compounding, you don't have to actually claim the rewards and then restake them, that whole process. All you're doing is just leaving it in there. And then, like you said, this is non-custodial, right?
Yep.
So you don't even your whole app, you don't give your keys over anything. You're just connecting to the app through the different wallets. And then on top of that, if you have your different staking wallets with all these, you have the whole portfolio analytics, which will show you, it looks like all your wallet holdings or your
Yep.
staking positions. And,
E- e- exactly.
and is that going to include for NFTs at some point? Is that something you're looking uh,
Um, we haven't put NFTs on the development roadmap yet. I mean, we've got there's a lot of other things that are there. I mean, something we could look at. We're always looking at, innovative ways we can expand the platform. Um, Now it's focused more on, like staking. So like if you go to like stakeseeker.com and, click the auto stake, I mean, it's pretty simple, right? If
yeah.
you've got a Kepler wallet, if you're already in the staking, like you've already got your wallet, you just delegate to our node, you know,
Oh
uh,
yeah. It's
you know,
pretty simple,
yeah,
pretty
we've
straightforward.
we've outlined it in like 5 steps.
Yeah.
Uh, and assuming you've got, you already have your wallet, it's like 3 steps. So you're
Right.
basically, without getting too technical, you're basically um, authorizing us, to redelegate for you, right? It's like what's the best equivalent? It's like a limited power of attorney or something, right?
Hmm.
Would be kind of an equivalent, process.
So I remember I asked you this last time. Did you ever figure out about the like Cosmos is big with airdrops of staking? Did you kind of figure out a way? Is that like what the auto compound, the 2x or whatever that you're talking about? Is that kind of to make up for that, or what are we doing on the NFT or not NFT? I'm sorry, the Cosmos type airdrops. I mean, most of your list like they don't have a ton of airdrops. It's kind of
Yeah,
specific to Cosmos.
yeah. I mean, it's not, so that way, since it doesn't go through our platform. I think when we spoke last time, we were debating,
Right.
for various reasons, having the reward flow through us, right?
Yeah.
Um, and what we actually did is, like, and this is it's going to be a long way to get to your answer, but I
Okay.
mean, I guess I'll kick it off. Say, because it's non-custodial and we're just running validator nodes, the airdrops are going to go right to you. right? When we previously had talked about how we were setting up the platform, we were contemplating the rewards flowing through us, despite the fact that it would still be non-custodial for the staked amount, right? And if you kind of look at it, and there's three possible ways you can stake, right? One is what Kraken and Coinbase do, right? Which is they take your crypto, they stake it for you, they tell you the reward they're going to give net of their fee, and then they pay you the rewards, which may or may not line up with what the actual blockchain does, right? They're just
Right.
it's whatever they want. Um, on the other end of the spectrum is what we currently do, right? Like your keys, your crypto, you stake to our node. We set the percentage with the blockchain, and the rewards flow directly to you from the network, not us.
That's
Um,
incredible. I think you guys did it right on that. I think you
in the
did.
middle, which is something we were looking at, was okay, you delegate to our node, we set the reward to be 100% to us, and then we pay out based on who's in our node, um, the same percent that the network would otherwise do. And there's various reasons. I won't get into why we were looking at doing that. We decided not to do that basically because we went and asked the SEC and said, hey, does this create a security? Just for the rewards, right? Like I think it's blatantly a security with what Kraken and Coinbase are doing. It's like, it looks like a duck quacks like a duck. It's a duck. When we looked at the rewards flowing through us, it was, I don't know, maybe we don't think it is. We went and asked. We didn't get a clear answer, but they also wanted more information. And it looked like the process to come to a conclusion on that was going to be extremely lengthy. And so we opted to just say, hey, let's just drop it and go with the more conservative approach, regardless of certain benefits of doing it that way. And so we don't touch your crypto, nor do we touch the reward.
Nice. Yeah, I love
So
it. I love it. That's awesome. I already have my account set up, so I'm definitely going to be checking it all out. And I saw that Axie Infinity wasn't on there. Is that you keeping that off there? Or did you guys get out of that position, or
no, so I mean, we have approximately what is it?
I know that list keeps growing. Every time I talk to you, the list has grown, so that's that's always a good thing.
So I think we have 17 tokens that the company holds. Um, of that 17, I think, two are non-delegated proof of stake. So there's 15 tokens. Of that, not all of the tokens we're staking them, but we may not have validator nodes
Yeah, I got you.
accessible via, publicly available via the platform that we're working on, right? So for example, Solana is one of those, Polkadot's another. And the reason behind it differs for each chain as to why, like Axie. I won't get into each specific chain of why it is or isn't available yet, but it depends, right? Some have a minimum amount staked before you become a part of the active set and earning rewards, which, if it's more than we want to commit for the company out of our balance sheet to that token at the time, it's like, okay, now we could open it up. And if we get enough other people to delegate, it becomes active and people start earning rewards. So it's a little bit of a, chicken and egg problem. And so in others, it could just be a, more, cost to run, et cetera. So we're looking at them, and we've got a list of tokens that we want to expand into. So we anticipate growth in terms of adding new blockchains, but it really depends on each specific one.
And I would say this bear market has probably been more to your advantage. I mean, I know as developers, it's been to our advantage having, gas fees cheaper and being able to continue to get lower prices on these coins and FTs and things like that. So that seems like even though we've been in the bear market, it's been a builder's bear market all around. Would you agree with that? Like, I
Yeah, I
know.
mean, look, I think, from our perspective, the glass is half full,
Mhm.
right? As a company, the value of the cryptocurrencies we hold in our cash is kind of floating around or near where our stock price is. So I mean, that's a little depressing, right? There's not not a lot of, people aren't giving a lot of the value to the company.
Yeah.
We're in a very unique position in that, we're not a Bitcoin miner. We don't have capital equipment that's a depreciating asset. We have no debt. We have a very low burn. Um, some of the advantages to the price of crypto coming down are, um, and a lot of that, the prices coming down are, starting from, uh, Terra blowing up to,
Yeah.
Celsius and BlockFi and Three Arrows and now
Yeah.
FTX. We didn't have exposure, no exposure to FTX directly. We didn't have any money there, or BlockFi or Celsius. Obviously, exposure to the prices of tokens, which has come down, and I think very minimal with like 100K in Terra, so not kind of
Yeah, I think we talked about that the last time.
very small
You wasn't
position.
affected by the Terra
Not
thing
really.
very much, yeah. So
So, in
which
light of everything that's happened, I mean, I think it brings a lot of validity to our business model, right? Our business model is, hey, you can earn a reward on your tokens and you don't need to lend them out.
mm-hmm,
Reward's not as high as lending, but like you're not going to lose it, right? Like
mm-hmm.
you take protocol risk and price risk, but you're not taking custodial risk. And so, from that perspective, I think,
And
you
as
know,
well, also because you're a public listed company on the Nasdaq, you're held to a lot higher standard than all of these other centralized exchanges and even the decentralized exchanges. Like that's one thing that's a really good thing about it is that there's a different level of transparency where like in decentralization stuff everybody claims to be transparent, some people are, some people aren't, but you have to be or you get delisted from the Nasdaq,
yeah,
right? So
yeah. I mean, if you look at it between not even the Nasdaq, I mean, our SEC filing. So on the company side, all our financials are publicly available.
hmm
All of the risk factors associated with the company are publicly available. What everyone makes is publicly available. Like my salary is available. Like everything is, there for, is disclosed for investors to look at. And then there's also all the requirements of the Nasdaq in terms of additional corporate governance, independent board. We have a auditor that audits our financial statements on a quarter, or audits them on a yearly basis and reviews them on a quarterly basis. And then you have the fact that we're running, non-custodial nodes on the blockchain. Because we've had people ask, like, well, do you have is your platform audited? And I'm like, for what? Like,
yeah.
our financial statements are audited. You can get full transparency at the corporate level. And then we run non-custodial validator nodes. Just go to the blockchain. You can see the performance of our nodes. You can see everything. It's all right there, right? It's not like there's anything kind of behind the curtain. So,
Right, and it's not. That's funny. People have asked you that question if you've been audited. Like you have to comply with the SEC. Like that's beyond being audited, right? Like,
yeah.
like you're always under that scrutiny and that regulation thumb, which is like I said, it's a good thing. You have all the transparency, you have everything going, and I'm excited about this. What was it? Upstream is what you called it, and this digital, basically share of the BTCS shares. That's really incredible. So next time we get closer to that, you'll have to come back on and tell us about all that. If there's anything else you got, Charles, that you want to touch on for this
No,
video?
I think the kind of the key takeaways. I mean, this Series V preferred on Ethereum's upstream. To the extent we can pull it off, obviously no guarantees at this point.
Right.
Really excited about that. I think the platform. We're always trying to get the word out on the operations and what we're building and in the current market. It really should resonate with people as they learn, what we do, why we're doing it. And it's it kind of goes to the key tenets of crypto, right? Like your keys, your crypto. Let's try to keep it decentralized to the extent we can, and build that bridge. So, we're pretty excited as a company. We didn't we we were very cautious, in the market. So we're in a good spot, right? Which I
Mm.
not all crypto companies can say.
No
So
debt. Yeah, no debt. That's huge. Let's
yeah,
just be honest. That's huge for even
that
companies outside of crypto.
yeah, yeah, in a down like exactly.
Yeah, in
Uh,
a down market too, in a bear market and everything. Well, Charles, I appreciate you coming on as always. And next time you're ready, you got some more alpha for us and more stuff coming out with BTCS because I know you guys are not slowing down with the building and developing. You know, you're welcome on here anytime. Appreciate you joining us as always. If you got any last words where you want to shout out your staking, the stake seeker, where they can find it and all
yeah,
of that
yeah. I
if they
mean, you
don't
can.
know.
It's stakeseeker.com, and there's also links at btcs.com. So
And we will have those in the description for you guys so you don't have to go and do a bunch of work. All you got to do is click.
yeah, and
Charles,
it,
oh, go ahead.
definitely a big shout out to the Cosmos community. Those that are staking and delegating. I know you're a big fan of Cosmos. It's
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
I mean, right now we're like, even though we're not, in the top 10, we're with the zero fees, auto stake, and the platform, we're pretty unique. So
Yeah, oh, 100%, 100%. Well, Charles, I appreciate you joining us as always. Can't wait to see you again next time.